What it do, Kaizoku crew? It's your boy Kaizoku Ice, and we've got a market update video for y'all. So, I was doing my usual nightly routine of scrolling through eBay looking for a good deal, see if I can finesse a bid, but all of a sudden I realized, holy crap, since when was OP-03 so expensive? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because I've seen some cards, and in particular the booster box too, it is just continuing to skyrocket, and is this still a good buy as of today? Let's talk about it. So, the first thing I took a look at was the price of the booster boxes. So, the booster box currently on TCG Player for Pillars of Strength OP-03 is about $225. For the past year, it is down 12%. However, as you guys can see, it is on a steadily increase upwards. It started about last year, we're about $250. It crashed all the way down about almost 50% to $136. But as you can see, this was in December and we are now in April, and it's gone up almost like 30% from the bottom here. So the reason for that actually is simply because OP-03 is getting harder to find. Similar for the fact that EB-01 and OP-01 through OP-04 are steadily increasing. It's just for the simple fact that they're not being printed anymore and they're very hard to find. So of course, you know, people are assuming that because they're harder to find, they're going to be more rare, and it's better to hold them over time and continue to see that upward increase, right? So it's been consistently selling at around $220. If you click here, you can see that only a couple days ago, it sold for about $222. And then about a week and 2 weeks ago, it's been consistently selling between like $200 to $220. So that's an encouraging sign to see that, you know, this seems like this has kind of been, is this a good settling price for OP-03 booster boxes? For my opinion, I still think it might be a little bit high, and I'm still thinking there might be a little bit of a pullback, but I don't want to be caught, you know, with nothing and not have a single box of OP-03 to have in my collection. So is it the best time to buy right now? Don't have a crystal ball. I do think it's a little bit high at the moment at $220. I think we will get a little bit of a decrease. It might go down to around like 200, but I don't think it's going lower than 200 because we've seen the precedence with EB-01 of how it went all the way from about like $100, $150 to $80 booster box. It's now settling around $300. I don't think that this is a $300 box, but I don't see a reason why it couldn't go all the way up there, because it is getting harder to find, and also because this set, although it has one of the weaker mangas in the Soga King manga, it does have some really great cards. And the cards I want to talk about in particular are actually the wanted posters. So if you guys aren't familiar with the wanted posters, we've got 4 wanted posters, which are considered SPs in this set. This is actually the first set of One Piece that introduced the SP art style. So we've got 4 right here. We've got the Luffy, we've got the Kid, we've got the Doflamingo, and then we've got the Kaido here. So let's take a look at the prices of these cards. Let's start off with our main boy, Monkey D. Luffy. This is a great card right here. I absolutely love it. I think this is his Fishman Island, a wanted poster. So, you know, right about the start of the time skip. As of today, it is about $144, and oh wow. So yeah, it's been consistently going up for the past year. It started at about $100 last April. It bottomed all the way down to $73 back in August. But man, we are at an all-time high now for this card at about $118. Let's look at some of the recent sales. Yeah, man. Oh wow. Someone bought one for $160. That's pretty high. I didn't realize. Yeah, this card's consistently going between like $110 to $160. So I think that this card actually it's not better than the Soga King manga, but in my opinion, man, this is a card that you're going to want to have from the set, because obviously it is a Luffy card. It is the first set of SPs in the entire game. And then also, I mean, this to me is, besides once again the Soga King, this is the chase hit of the set. Maybe the Nami leader, which if you look here, I think it's going for about $224. So this is a great card too, but I just think that overall, you know, over the grand scheme of things over time, I think that the first printings of the SPs, so these wanted posters, I think these are just gonna do very well over time because they are so collectible, right? So yeah, man, if you guys don't have one of these Luffy wanted posters, I highly recommend getting one before it's too late, because man, if you look at the way that this is going, maybe we get a little bit of a pullback and it goes back down to about maybe $100, but as you guys can see, you know, off of the booster box prices and also now with the Luffy here, it's just continuing to go up, and that upward trend is a telltale sign that, you know, that this has some staying power and longevity, and I don't think it's going to completely bottom out. I don't think we're going to get a 50% crash like we did last year all the way down, because OP-03 is so hard to find nowadays, right? Because of the stock being printed. So that's the first card I want to take a look at, the Luffy wanted poster. If we take a look at the Doflamingo, this card is also going up, so it's around like $50 right now. It was always a pretty cheap card. I remember almost buying a couple of these for, you know, about like $30 a year ago. But yeah, it's just continuing to go up, I think, and I think that's because, you know, OP-03 boxes are just continuing to skyrocket. So on the year, this is up 83%. I think this card's so cool. I like Dofi's pre-time skip design. He just looks like a Chad. Nobody even knew what his skills were yet, so he was just like a complete mystery dude. And yeah, I like this card a lot. I am looking to get more of this card, so not financial advice, but yeah, this is one card that I'm targeting along with the Luffy. The next card we have here is the Kaido. So this card is interesting. It is another SP, but it's not doing so well on the year. It is down 34%. So is this a potential buy low, sell high in the future opportunity? Potentially, because I think that all of the wanted posters from OP-03 will have, you know, pretty solid monetary value in the long term, because once again, this is the first set of SPs. And I think that, you know, as we continue, you know, let's say a year or two from now, people are going to want the first set of SPs. So if you have a full set of the wanted posters from OP-03, I think that's going to be a pretty good investment right there. So as I was saying, let's look at some of the prices here. Yeah, it's been selling for around $35. So this is definitely the cheapest wanted poster, and it might just be because Kaido is, you know, low-key lame, and I don't know if this card is very playable in the meta. So that could potentially be why it's so low, or just, once again, it might just be because Luffy and Dofi are just much cooler characters in general. So that's the Kaido SP, and then the last SP that we have is the Eustass Kid SP. So this card is actually doing pretty well right now. It went slowly down over time, and it bottomed at about $38, and now it's about $85. So on the year, it's up 16%. I do know that this card is meta relevant and is used in some green decks, so I think that's why the price is, you know, I guess this is the second highest out of the wanted posters. Yeah, it's the second highest because, you know, this is just a card that people need for their decks if they want to build their max rarity decks, right? So I think if I have the math right, let's say we have the Luffy for about 150, this one's about 50, so 200, let's say 40, so 240 plus 70, so about $300 for the entire wanted poster set. You know, I don't think it's inconceivable to say that this entire wanted poster set from OP-03 can go up to $500, just because, you know, I think that this is going to continue to go up. Let's say that this box ends up becoming a $300 box. You know, I think everything in the set's just going to continue to go up. In my opinion, I never loved the artwork in OP-03. I don't like the way that the leader art looks here, but to be quite honest with you, all of that is irrelevant just for the simple fact that you have the chance at getting an SP or the first SPs ever in the game, and one of them's a Luffy. I think that vastly outweighs like any of the weird art, or at least I think it's a little bit weird. Some of the weirder leader art. Like, I think objectively speaking, this is like the worst leader art, because I think OP-04 has like the leader art with the entire crew. Maybe I'll put a picture here for some examples. I never liked like the black and white and I guess monochromatic theme for these leaders, but you know, the numbers don't lie, and the numbers do say that the set is just going to continue to go up. So with all that being said, get this set. I think it's a really good hold over time. I think it has some potential to do an EB01 where the booster box goes up, exponentially, So only time will tell, but let's see here. Oh, my iPhone has 10%. Okay, I need to charge my phone. I need to end this video soon, but I think the last thing I wanted to say is if we're taking a look at some of the graded cards from OP-03, so you can actually get this entire Wanted poster set for about $550 in a PSA 10. Let's take a look here. Yeah, about $550. So I don't think that's a horrible price, actually. And it seems like there are 3 people have it in their cards because they see it's a pretty good value. Once again, the entire set raw costs about $300. So $550, not a horrible price. And I do think it's going to continue to go up. If you want just the Luffy, because I think if you had to have any of these cards, I would just get the Luffy. Because once again, Luffy is just Luffy and he's so cool. You can buy one now for $210. That does seem a little bit high to me. There's 27 watchers, so clearly, it's a popular card and people want it. Let's see here, what else? Oh, there's some new auctions, so maybe y'all can take a look. Maybe all the Kaizoku crew can fight to bid on this card right here. It's currently being bid for $3.25, so maybe we can get a steal on that card. Who knows? And I think all the other ones are the Wanted posters from OP-09, which I also do love, but that warrants another video another time. So, oh, look, there's another Luffy here, actually, being bid for in about a week. So, yeah, there's opportunities to get this card on eBay in PSA 10 for potentially, good value. So, don't sleep, take a look at your cards. Once again, not financial advice, but because OP-03 is continuing to go up, I think it's only a matter of time before the rest of the cards, whether it's the Sogeking manga or the leaders, but in particular, what I'm talking about in this video, the SP Wanted posters, I think those are just going to continue to go up and up and up. And hopefully, in the next year or two, we can get a couple and see that return on our investment. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will not be doing the raffle for the PSA 10 25th anniversary of Luffy just yet because we haven't reached 100 likes yet, and I really want us to reach 100 likes. I'm not gonna not do the giveaway, but I also want to stay true to my word and only do it when we reach 100 likes. So get your likes in on that video, get your comments in, so we'll extend this giveaway for another week. Actually, I'm gonna be out of town. Fun fact, I'm going to Japan, in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to be doing some content there, but if you guys see that I'm not uploading as much, I'm sorry. That's just because I'm going to be out of the country, but I hope to get some videos out for you guys pre-recorded, so, I don't leave my Kaizoku crew left with nothing. Hopefully I can get like 1 or 2 videos out during the time I'm out on vacation. So thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch y'all on the next investment video.